We are Corkrean?
Corkrean.
Corkrean,
Corkrean.
okay. With a name like Narcissus, I always try to make sure I pronounce everybody's name.
Sure.
Right. Well, Kevin, welcome. Good afternoon.
Thanks for having me.
We are so excited for a couple reasons. One, we're excited because you're here and going to talk about great issues for your city. And two, you're a final person. We get to go home for the day after this.
I bet.
I'm gonna have a treat. I'm gonna stop at Hy-Vee and I'm gonna get in Windsor Heights and I'm gonna get me one of those little picket fence chocolate milks.
Oh, okay.
So, tell us about yourself. You know where you're from and who Kevin Corkrean is.
Corkrean, yes. Originally from Winterset.
Okay.
Lived in Windsor Heights. Moved into Windsor Heights in 2000. Live on 68th Street, South University. Got a 13-year-old daughter named Madison. We've got Buster, our yellow lab. He's just turned 2, so he's a handful at times. I work for Wolf Construction. I'm a foreman for them and have been with them for 5 years now. I've done construction for 19 years.
Endorsement bill before
Yes.
you came here. Like the new NBA uniform.
Yeah. So, that's it in a nutshell, I guess. That's me. Pretty simple guy.
Okay. So what made you decide to run for city council?
The way the sidewalk issue was handled last fall, and I just
Explain to people the sidewalk issue
um,
and why they should care.
well, the city council, they didn't have any transparency. I feel they went behind closed doors and didn't keep I don't feel that they kept the residents informed enough, and I feel that needs to change.
Okay, and the sidewalk issue is surrounding what, the Montessori school?
The school, I think we've got other issues we need to worry about before we put sidewalks in.
Mm-hmm.
We can put sidewalks in anytime, but we need to I feel we need to take those funds and fix our infrastructure first.
Okay.
Get our streets, get our infrastructure fixed, then we can deal with the sidewalks.
So the first thing that bothered you then was just the absence of transparency, the lack of communication.
Yes.
Okay. How would you have handled the communication on an issue like this differently if you were on the city council?
I would have let our residents get more involved and listen to them and not just tell them what the city is going to do. They pay taxes, they've got a voice, they need to be heard. They need to be heard and not told what is going to happen. Then we can look at what they want, need, and what the city wants and needs, and we need to do what we can to meet in the middle and what's best for both parties.
So you don't think that there's enough communication between city government of Windsor Heights and the residents?
Correct.
So is there something you would do in terms of communication, a newsletter, set up an email system with residents, town halls? How would you, what form of improving communication and transportation would you advocate or support if you were a member of the council?
I feel one thing we could probably do is maybe do our meetings, stream them live on Facebook, social media. That you don't have to leave your home to see what's going on, to listen in. You could watch it from your own home. That would be one. That would be a start. For us to do.
Mm-hmm.
I've got an email. Shoot me an email and let's sit down and talk about it. We can set up a time once a month to get together, have some coffee, whatever.
Sort of a chat and chew.
Sure, yeah. Then we can.
And you have some good restaurants in Windsor Heights to do it. You can do it at the Hy-Vee, you can do it at the Saisons.
Yep. Exactly.
So there are different choices with the grounds for celebration.
Yes, yep, perfect.
Now, you also mentioned priorities. They spent money on the sidewalks. You said they should have taken care of some other priorities. What are some of those priorities they should have taken care of?
Our streets are in bad shape and they need to be fixed. So I just feel, I'm not against putting in sidewalks, but I feel that we can, there's bigger issues to deal with than those right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I just, would look at it, and we need to fix our streets and infrastructure.
Okay, so streets are one. What are some of the other things that should be more important?
Business development. We need to see what we can do to get businesses to come into our city. Obviously I don't have all the answers right now, but if I were on the council, working with the other council members, and I'm open to any ideas with the citizens to see what we can do to bring them in. We've got to get businesses into our city that will draw people in to spend their money. And, there was a couple good businesses that we lost. And
Which businesses were those?
golf headquarters and fitness sports. When we redid the
I used to get my tennis shoes at fitness sports.
I always went to golf headquarters.
Yeah.
A lot of people came in and went to those places.
Papa Murphy's.
Now they're gone. Yep.
So how does a city, from your perspective, get businesses to come back into a community like Windsor Heights?
That's a good question. I don't know if I have the answer for that right now. That's a tough one right now. That's what we've got to work on. So that Apple Valley Shopping Center that we have redone, that is one area that, we can offer them updated facilities. We've got other areas where we could update the facility if we need to, if it's old and needs fixed up, if we need to tear it down. And, there's ways we can entice them to come into our city, So it would all matter on the business, I guess, Different businesses have different needs. So with that, we could try to cater to them in different areas.
What do you think your strengths would be as a member of the Windsor Heights City Council? I've been involved in politics for more than 30-something years. I've ran campaigns, I've ran for office, I've got elected, I've lost. And, there are certain people who start out with an inherent advantage, like trial lawyers, because they're just snot slick. They might not know anything, and they might have no moral compass, but they're just. And then there are people who are just hard-working people. They work every day. They're good, decent, honorable people. They have ideas. They have strengths. But politics doesn't always show those strengths versus somebody else's, ability to be slick. So, what do you see as the strengths that you would bring to the city council as a candidate?
Number one, I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty and work hard. I've been in construction for 19 years. I roll up my sleeves, I jump in, and I get the job done. With the construction I do, I look at the plans, I build the building. Well, you know, it looks good on paper, but once we put it to practical use, I'm like, this isn't gonna work. Working with engineers and architects that, you know, this won't work, and we have to work together to come up with solutions to fix the problem. So with that, you know, you never know when you're gonna run into one of those problems, and then you deal with it. So I feel, you know, on a daily basis, I'm always solving problems. You never know, you know, might be once a week, might be, like I say, daily. So I feel I am very good about dealing with those problems and coming up with solutions in a reasonable time.
When I got elected, it took me a while to be able to describe the difference in my approach to some others. Because I'm in business and the school board didn't pay, I couldn't afford to waste time. I was there to solve problems and move on. Other people who came from a background where you didn't have to produce a result to get a check had an entirely different approach. They could pontificate and talk and discuss, and if we never got anything done, well, the coffee was good.
Yep.
You know, which camp do you think you fall into? And you know, in talking to people, I mean, we don't have 1,000 folks from Windsor Heights who are watching this, but we probably going to have 100 or 200. So talk to them about why they should vote for you in a 9-person field and what they're going to get.
Why you should vote for me with 9 people running for 3 seats. You're going to get honesty. You're going to get a guy that is going to work hard. I do it every day. I'm not afraid to work hard, and I'm going to listen. I want to hear what you have to say, and not just you know, do what's best for one party. We need to do what's best for both parties. You need to be heard. We need to be open. City council, it needs to be an open book all the time, 100%. You need to know what's going on, where your tax dollars are going, everything, every penny. You guys need to know.
So do you think that would be a strength of yours, accountability, particularly on the fiscal end?
Yes. We as leaders of the city, if we're not doing our job, we need to be held accountable. No different with me at my work. If I fail and don't produce, I'm not going to have a job very long. So why is that different with our leaders of our city? If you can't do your job, then you need to be held accountable. And that's pretty cut and dry, you know, to me.
I'm going to shift gears. I'm thinking about moving to Central Iowa. I've heard some great things about the greater metropolitan area. When I arrive, I find out that there are all these communities. There's Ankeny, there's Altoona, there's Pleasant Hill, Urbandale, Johnston, and Waukee, and West Des Moines, and there's Windsor Heights. Why should I move to Windsor Heights from their perspective?
We are in this, I feel, we're in the center of Des Moines. I've always said I'm 15 minutes from anywhere. Now, as we are growing, maybe it's 20, 25 now to get to the edges of town, you know, but literally, you can be 15, 20 minutes anywhere. I like Windsor Heights because it's quiet, peaceful, and it's beautiful. It's a nice city. I love it.
So if I were, you know, I show up in Windsor Heights and I've decided to move there, bring my family. Are there things to do in Windsor Heights?
Yeah, we've got a great park in Colby Park. We've got a bike trail. That is something else I would like to see what we could do to bring in some more attractions. You know.
What kind of attractions?
Well, I don't know, to be honest with you. But that, you know, I'm open for ideas. You know, what could we bring in that nobody else has that is going to bring the people in here, into the city?
You know, one of the things you know, last interview of the day, so I'm a little more conversational. But when I ran, I had an ear. I'm listening. And the day before I got elected, a local radio show host made a list of the things that said I'd get done. And a year and a half later, I went back on the show, and everything on that list got checked off. But part of the reason why I felt confident that I could get stuff done is because I listened to what people wanted done, and it made it easier to get their support in helping to get it done. So, you've talked about listening. If you're elected, how will you get the people to listen to them? What mechanism or mechanisms would you set up so that they can have your ear, so they can share those ideas and they can support you in your attempt at making some of these things happen?
What would I set up? We just need to sit down and listen. I mean, that's the long and short of it. Just, you know, like I say, shoot me emails, we can talk, and find a time to talk, and you know, it needs to be, you know, I've always said, if it's important, it needs to be wrote down, because when, you know, it's right there, you can see it. Now it's just not out there. So just talking with the community, hearing what they have to say.
Des Moines. Just had a gentleman here from Pleasant Hill. I asked him this question. I'm going to ask you this question. Kind of two parts. First of all, Des Moines has some amenities that we're not going to see happen in Windsor Heights, especially since it's landlocked, like a zoo. So what should the city of Windsor Heights be doing to support Des Moines in providing some of those regional amenities, if anything?
Well, we could, I mean, just work with Des Moines and see what we could do to help them. Like I say, do I have all the answers to fix the city right now? Honestly, I don't. And with that being said, it's not going to happen overnight. Next Tuesday I get elected, it's not going to be fixed on Wednesday or the following Wednesday. It's going to take time. So, you know, honestly, I don't have that answer right now, but in time, we can make things happen.
Another question, and this stays connected to Des Moines. Well, first of all, what is your position on the growing idea that we need to pass a penny sales tax in Polk County? Is it something you oppose, something you support?
I would support it.
Okay, with that said, one of the reasons why the local option tax cut failed last time was because the residents of Des Moines said there is no way in this lifetime or the next we're going to give those jokers more money to waste.
Okay.
I don't think that position's changed, especially since the first time it failed, they didn't have the franchise fee debacle. So the potential to generate money for Ankeny and Urbandale and West Des Moines and these other communities is directly linked to whether people in Des Moines trust what's happening in Des Moines. So do regional leaders have a responsibility, regional city council people, the partnership and others have a responsibility to come together and go to leaders in Des Moines and say, you got to get your act together? Or is it that you watch your house, I'll take care of mine?
There again, accountability. You know, that is something we could look into, that to work together. And we'd have to sit down and look at that to work together, see if there is things that are, I don't want to say that, things need to be changed, you know. Yeah.
Last couple questions, and again, thank you for being here. We really appreciate it. Is there, are there, you know, 4 years ago, and we do these in cycles. 4 years ago, we sat down with people like Rick Messerschmitt and others, and we said, there's violence and chaos in the morning, drugs, and what are your thoughts? 4 years later, people got shot to death at Seven Flags and Clyde. We had a murder in Johnston, and Urbandale police killed. And now those things that affected the one are starting to creep into the suburbs. How do you, as a member of the city council, approach the potential for that kind of violence, the drugs and other things, to creep into your community?
The violence, you're never, I don't think you'll ever fully stop it, obviously. But we have to do what we can to do our best to control it. And I feel we have the officers to do it, and we just need, citizens. You see something happening, we got to watch out for each other. It's tough. You hate to feel like you always have to, be looking over your shoulder, but anymore, sometimes you almost do, which is sad that it's come to that. But there again, I don't let it worry me. I mean, you gotta go on, right? And if you're gonna worry about that, I mean, you're not gonna live a very healthy life being worried all the time, right? So you just gotta go with the flow.
Last one, is there anything we missed? Are there any priorities you have that we didn't touch on?
No, I think we've touched on them all. Like I say, just, transparency, honesty, in our city council. So it's, yeah.
Transparency, honesty, integrity, accountability, and communications.
Yes.
To sum up what you said.
Yes. Thank you.
Then the last thing is just for you to tell people how to get a hold of you if they're interested in learning more, or want a yard sign, or any of that kind of stuff.
I've got a web. My email is Kevin Corkrean for.
It's spelled that.
CORKREAN for Windsor Heights, WH, citycouncil.com.
Okay, so what is that again?
Kevin Corkrean for Windsor Heights, citycouncil.com.
Now, is the Windsor Heights spelled out, or is it
No, just WH,
okay,
all lowercase.
I wanted to ask that because I thought that's what you had said before. Is there a number of people who call you that if they're interested?
Yes, if 515-205-6815.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Thanks for